add some more detailing to their shoes. I'll see what they look like when I finish making the gnomes. So I had started making him, move this up a little. I had started making him this morning with this sock. I got this pack of Christmas socks the other day at Dollarama, $1.25 for one pair. They're like a nylon, and I found it very hard to get onto this size of a Christmas tree form. That's what I make my gnomes out of. I just use the Styrofoam Christmas tree form. So for this one, he's a 9-inch height and it's a 4-inch diameter. So it was really hard to get this little sock to be pulled up. So I pull the sock all the way up to where the toe part of the sock is at the top. And so the toe part of the sock covers the whole bottom, and the heel of the sock comes up to the top. And all I do, so I just get my scissors, is I just cut, I'm just kind of stretch it out, and I just cut straight up like that. When you do that, you'll get this hole, but I'm just going to hot glue that shut. You won't see it because his hat will be on top. Just grab the glue gun again. Just gonna need another glue stick. This is a little trick that I found. So my glue sticks, if you put them in, sometimes they don't want to go in. If you just take a little dab of hot glue, then you slide it in and it will actually hold it to the next glue stick. It's come in really handy since I found that out, because sometimes when you put the new glue stick in, it doesn't always catch when you go to squeeze the trigger. This way the two glue sticks are actually already attached like one long glue stick. I've had less trouble with my glue sticks falling out after I've added a new one since I've started doing that. I don't know, I don't like these glue sticks. I don't know, I bought them from a dollar store I don't normally shop at. And they were, I think it was a pack of 50 for $4 or $5. Just say I don't like them. They're really stringy. They're even a different color because they're more really clear versus the ones I normally buy. They're a little more cloudy. So these super clear ones, they just seem, in whatever one of my glue guns I've used, they just melt so fast, and they just really lots of little strings on them. They seem to be hotter than my normal glue sticks, but that's okay. The price was good. I'll just use that. See, so you just glue that in, and I said when you make his hat will go right over top, and you won't even see that. So there is the first gnome. And for her, I'm just going to use, okay, because she was this one here. He's 9 inches high. This one is 6 inches, but I wanted it to be a little taller. And I was thinking what I could do is I could take one of my other smaller ones and just attach it. I was going to do that. That's why this is going to hold. I was going to do this, but when I put the material on, then you end up with this weirdly shaped body. So what I decided to do instead was just put the dowel in. That way I can just make her clothes up to here, and then her hat, I can form her hat with extra stuffing and give her the height using her hat and this dowel versus trying to do the two stacking. Now this isn't, now if you wanted to do the two stacking, if you're trying to make like a real Christmas tree and you find that these are kind of small sometimes, you can actually get a really nice Christmas tree effect if you stack the Christmas tree forms. I haven't actually done a craft with that, but I saw on YouTube somebody did it, I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago, where I saw somebody and she actually put the dowels, or she used popsicle sticks, but she put like, I think it was like 4 or 5 of these together, like the really tall ones, and she made a really nice tall tabletop centerpiece. So that's why the dowel is here, is to give the extra height. So what I'm just going to do for her is, doesn't matter about the bottom. Nobody's going to see the bottom. What I might just end up doing is just, you know, maybe I'll just glue some of the gray felt on her bottom so she won't, so you won't really notice that. But I was going to take this sock. This was the top half of him. So I'm just going to put this on her. These are a little tricky sometimes. I've got two different types of styrofoam, and I noticed that one is really nice. This one here is like a cheaper styrofoam or something. I don't know, just the sock sticks to it, and it's nice because the sock sticks to it, so you don't have to worry about, you know, coming unglued. But it's really hard when you're trying to readjust it because you've been trying to pull it versus like these two. So you got like this one here is what I'm working with, this original styrofoam type stuff. You can hear that. And you've got this nicer, more of a finished type of a pressed styrofoam. Yeah, so I don't know. This one is easier to work with, but I don't have any this kind in these heights, so I had to use these ones. I just use whatever I have. I don't spend a lot of money on craft supplies. I buy mine from, just go to local dollar stores, the thrift stores, yard sales. You can always find enough craft supplies. You don't have to go and buy it at Michael's or Walmart at their kind of prices. Okay, so I've got this, so now I'm just gonna glue that up there. So now see, out of one pair of sock, I got the two gnomes. And then see, I've kept her with the little green. So it looks like her dress has got like a green finish. He doesn't have that, so he just like, he does have a little spot where you can see some of the green. And then like put their shoes, they're not glued on, but see, if you just, when you set them on their shoes, just trying to see if I get this right height. See how cute that's gonna look? Yeah, so you got her, she's got a little green thing at the end of her dress. And then he's got the green shoes and she's got the red shoes. Now I noticed that you can't really see the, when she's sitting there, you can't see the little flowers on her shoes. So when I go to set her, I might just position her where, you know, position it where the shoes are spread out, space them out a little. It's hard to do this with the camera. Like that, you know, space them out a little so you can see her shoes, you know, like kind of prop her up a little bit different. Also with these type of shoes, if you wanted to, you can actually, because I'm just going to glue like I did with this one here, where I just hot glued the shoes directly to the bottom. But with these shoes, you can actually just take like a dowel and, or whatever you want for feet, and you can actually make them legs. So you put, again, if you were going to do that, you would have to put more rocks or gravel in there, and a piece of styrofoam or something that the dowel can be glued into, or the styrofoam can also be glued inside the shoe, and the dowel can be glued into the styrofoam, and you push that in. Let's see which one of these, yeah, like this. See, this one's got the little hole, see? And it will stand like that. Then you can actually do, you can dress them up, you can actually give them legs, and you can really make your gnomes really more fun if you do that. But I like to keep it more simple, just basic. I'm not that, I'm kind of creative, but with dealing with stuff this size, I think it's, I don't need to give them legs. They're just going to be sitting out on the table for a few months, you know, don't need to get into the legs and stuff, although it'd be kind of cute to make some, I think, giving some of my gnomes the kind of legs that kind of just hang off the edge of a table. That would be fun to do. I haven't made a gnome like that for a while. Last gnome I made like that was my leprechauns. I'm just gluing her top of her outfit down. It's okay if it bunches up because you just want to give also some thickness here to kind of help with the dowel, so the dowel can stay straight. Just give some more thickness up here at the top so you can get this extra material to kind of bunch up at the top. So when you put the when you put her hat on, her hat will you know, be stuck a little bit easier. I'll just set them aside to dry for a minute. I think I will do that. I think I will give her a finish her off. I'll give her a base for her to to be glued to. So it'd be easier to glue the shoes to the to the felt rather than styrofoam, and that didn't work so that didn't work so good. I can't see my pencil line. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, I'll just glue this on, and then I can just cut off the extra . I'll just cut off the extra felt. There, and I'll just kind of give her more of a finished look. Just going to trim. Let the sock up. I'll just trim around here so I don't cut the sock. And then pull the sock back down to kind of hide where that cut line is. There. Just pull it down a little bit, just around under her. There. Now, see, the bottom of her looks so much more better. She looks more finished. There. I just pulled the dowel up when I was doing that. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside to finish drying. Now I said they need their hats. I'm going to make one in red and one in green. So all you need to do, didn't even take my price tags off my felt. The price tag is still on this one? No, it's already off. Okay. So for the gnomes, just however tall you want their hats to be, I'm just going to fold this felt over. I'm just going to here, just going to cut diagonal. Doesn't matter how straight it is. Felt's fairly forgiving. You can also, like when you go to fix it, you can just cut it down if you need to. There, just going to straighten this out a little more. But gnomes' hats aren't perfect anyway, so okay. Her hat first, I guess. She's okay. Sorry about that. I had to go on to the foam. Okay, so I've just put the bead of hot glue. I've now folded them like together, and we're going to turn it the other way so we get this nice finished looking edge, which is why I said it didn't matter if your cuts weren't perfect, because you're not really going to see that once you flip it inside out. I said you can use the sewing machine. I've never actually sewn the sewing machine with felt before, so I don't know how easy it is. I have hand stitched, so you. Sorry, my phone just keeps cutting out. I'm running out of memory. Okay, so we just hot glued this. Now I'm turning it the right side. Just gonna use my scissors to kind of poke this up. And we'll get her over here. Put her hat on. Just move this up a little more. Sorry, I was having trouble with my phone and my laptop for a while. I had to wait till my kids got home from school to help me, and then I had to make supper. So coming back to making these gnomes. So we've got the two gnomes here and right here. I made his hat the same way I made hers. That's right where I was filming when everything stopped working. So it was just a piece of the felt, just hot glued the strip, glued the corners end to end, and then just turned it inside out. So now we're going to work on, I'm just going to move this down a little more. Now we're going to work on is making their beards. So I've got lots of different things I can make the beards out of. I've got this really nice feathered boa, which I actually used for, on this little gnome, I actually used it to make his mustache. I stuck it through the hole of the bead, so he gets this really nice, big, fluffy mustache. And I also have some of this faux fur trim, which is what I used to make the rest of his beard, and I also used it to make this little gnome's beard. And I also have this, it's the faux fur yarn, and I think it'd make a good beard if you wanted to do like a curly beard. I'm going to use this for the girl gnome, because I'm not giving her a beard, I'm going to give her like hair, like braided hair. So I'm going to take 3 pieces of this and I'm going to braid it to make braids in her hair. And then for my little boy gnome, I'm actually going to cut out using this faux fur. So I'm going to do his first. Move the shoes out of my way and angle this down. So turn it to the back. Make sure you find like the way it goes down. You've got the wrong side and the right side. It's easier to cut on the back. I've seen some people use a razor. I would use a razor, but I'm not sure where it is right now. I'm still in the middle of moving everything from downstairs up here. I've got almost everything done, but I have a few supplies I just can't seem to find at the moment. So got to figure out with how big you need his beard to be, how long. When his hat fell off, let's put his hat back on. That's the back of him. So you got to figure, okay, so his beard is going to be about this long, and he needs to be about that wide. That's a good width. So I'm just going to cut that. And then I got to cut a little bit of a triangle out. I'm just going to fold it in half. I'm just going to cut a small triangle. So I can glue this around his nose. So it looks like that. I'll also round this out a little bit more down here after I get it attached, so I know exactly where I need to get it more, a little more angled so it's not so square looking. I usually like to try to do that once it's actually on the gnomes, and you can kind of see well how with around their nose and everything, and how it kind of hangs and how much you need to trim on each side. So I'm just going to grab him here, and for the nose I've got a couple different options. For the first two, like this guy here, I couldn't find my wooden beads, so I used a yellow or orange pony bead, which is why I stuck the feather boa through it, because it was bigger. So the pony beads, they kind of look this size, but I did find my wooden beads, so I'm going to use the wooden beads for these two. Just got to find, the other one rolled off. There it is. So I'm going to use these two. So I've got a larger one and a smaller one. I'm going to use the larger one for the male and the smaller one for the female. So I'm just going to figure out where I want the beard to sit, and then figure out, once you get the beard, I've got to put the hat back on so I can see. So you got to figure out where you need his mustache to, or beard to kind of sit. So you got to have his nose kind of there, and then the hat kind of comes down a little. So now you want to put his nose just right near the top of his cap. Just put some glue there. Just stick it there. His nose is just kind of coming out of the top of his hat. And then for the beard, the same thing. Just going to put a little bit of glue just around the top, kind of around the top, and down the sides that we cut so it would go around his nose. So you just take this off, line this up. Just have to get it to come up and around his nose like that. And I'll put his hat back on and pull it down. Kind of looks like that. Now you can see like where it needs to cut, because it's too square. You can't see much of him. So we're just going to take the scissors. I'm just going to angle it down. Just trim down this side a little. And do the same on this side. Just going to cut it and angle it down. Just got to turn it so I can see. Angle this a little more. So his beard looks like that. Looks a little bit better. Just going to trim a little more over on this side. This is why it's easier to use a razor on this than scissors. Scissors kind of get the choppy lines, but it's okay for tonight. I'll find the razor and I'll smooth it out as soon as I find my razor. You get nicer lines when you do it with the razor. There, that looks a lot better now. Just going to angle this down. And we're going to add stuff to his hat. So I wanted to do to his hat. So I'm just going to add some trim on here. I think I'm going to add the same gold trim that I had added to their shoes. I'm going to put that on their hats. I'm just going to put the glue gun, just glue this ribbon around the edge of his hat. And I'm going to glue a ribbon around the edge of her hat, but I want to make hers a little fancier ribbon. And this glue gun is just, I don't know, I got one of those glue sticks I don't like. The other day I thought maybe I was using the wrong glue gun, because the other day I was making, when I was making those other blue gnome boots, I was using my high temp glue gun with low temp glue sticks. So my glue sticks were just melting faster than I could make anything with them. And just go all the way around to the beginning. I think I had just enough ribbon to finish that off. This little spot here. Trim that off and just trim the excess ribbon off the back. And we'll put his hat on. And also to finish off the top of his hat, I'm going to add a bell. I'm just going to angle this up a little more. See, so I've got a little red bell. I'm just going to add a red bell just to the top of his hat. And then for her, I'm just going to do the same thing to her. Just going to, like I said, for her, I was not going to do the beard. I was going to do the hair. So I'm just going to get my yarn here. Just going to decide how long I want to make her ponytail. I'm just going to see, so her head. I need her ponytail to be from about here down to there. So I want to make it about that long. That's about maybe 5, maybe I'll make it 6 inches. So I'm going to cut 6 pieces of this yarn about 6 inches long, and then that may not be, I don't know, that may not be long enough if I'm going to braid it. Maybe I won't braid it. Maybe I'll just leave it just like that. I'll just twist it. Oh, I don't think I need to braid it. I think if I just twist it, it will look nice. Well, maybe I will braid it. I don't know. I'm just going to cut 3 more pieces and then I'll figure out which way I like it. This is fun when you're crafting, you're just having ideas, you can just kind of change your idea as you go along. Let's see, if I just put the 3 together, just do a quick loose braid. Just do a loose quick braid. I think I like that because then it's so much fluffier versus if I just twisted them. I think I like it just a loose braid. So I'm just going to fix this because I'm just going to glue them to her. And I will braid each side. I forget where her hat is. So I guess right there. Right here. I'll glue glue the 3 pieces to this here, and I will braid a little more glue to glue the 3rd one on. Glue that one on, and I'm just gonna quickly just do a quick loose braid. A little longer on this one. Snip that off. I'm just going to put some glue there. Just glue this right there. Put her hat on, and there's her one braid. And figure out where her nose will be. Her nose will be right here. And then we'll glue the other, we'll do the other braid. Oh, I made her nose up too high. I'm just going to pull the hat over. There, so there's her hair. Yeah, I think I've got her hat. Yeah, I've got the nose glued too high. Just take it off. I'll just glue it down just a little lower. Put her hat on and see if that looks better. Yeah, I think that's better. Their nose a little lower. And do the same on this side. Just going to put some glue here. And then just attach the hair here and do a quick loose braid. And I will put a ribbon in her hair as soon as I get this braided. I'll put some ribbon in her hair, and I'll put a ribbon around the trim of her hat. Trim off some of the extra ones, they're a little too long. Need another glue stick. Trimming off one of them. So now she's got her hair, her hat, little girl gnome, and then I'm going to just grab some of my ribbon. I'm just going to do a gold trim on her hat, but I want something a little more fancy than what I had put on his. Just take a look and see. I think. So I've got this one here. It's white lace with the gold. Or I thought I had another one that was just a really nice gold. I've got this whole bucket of ribbon here. Let's see, how's this one? This one looks like just like tinsel. I think I like this one. So I'm just gonna put some hot glue on here. Oops. And I think my hot glue gun is just not working now. There. Okay. I think I got the glue gun working now. I'm just gonna put glue and just glue her ribbon on, glue this gold ribbon around the edge of her hat. And I think I'll glue this gold ribbon around the edge of her dress. And I will put some gold or some type of bow in her hair. See what I have for bows. Okay, I'm just going to trim this, cut that off. And there's her hat. And same thing with the top of her hat. I'm going to glue the green belt on the top of her hat. So now her hat is finished. Nice. I'm just going to glue this. I really like the way this gold trim looks. Just where'd it go? So I'm just going to glue this around the. I'm going to glue some of this around her, so she has. It looks like her dress has got some nice gold trim to match her hat. If I was going to do this, I should have put that on before I did her hair, but this was just like a last minute idea to put this gold trim around her dress here. There. And we've got this gold trim around her dress. Got her hair done. Now she needs some things. You can see that it's a little girl gnome. So let's see. Maybe I'll just. I don't think I like that one in her hair. I want something a little thinner. Let's see, what do I have that's thinner? Yeah, this one's thinner. Yeah, this one's thinner, but I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I have to do a little bit thicker, just so you can see it in her hair. Got more ribbon down here. Got all this gold ribbon. Just gonna see what I have that would look nice in her hair. I'm not liking the way that it's looking. Let's see, up here I have these little bows still. Let's see, maybe these little bows are already pre-made. Let's see, do I have, oh, I think I have the ones that match her shoes. I'll put those ones in her hair. That will look good. Okay, so I'm going to glue these ones. They match her boots. I'm just going to put her hat on just so I can see where they should go. Right about here. That's a good spot. I'll put the other one on the other side. There, little girl gnome's got little bows in her hair. And then these are her shoes. She's got the red shoes and the same little bows. So now to attach the shoes to the gnomes, I'm just gonna put some hot glue right here where the two shoes would sit side by side, and just press them together and let that sit up for a minute. And I'll put these two, the little boy gnome, I'm gonna get his shoes lined up. Just gotta figure out which way they fit flatter. And put some hot glue there and push these two together like that. And here's her. Just gonna move this. I just got to figure out how she sits so you can see. Okay, right about right there. So I'm just going to put some glue. Just put lots of glue on the bottom. And I'll put some glue on the tops of these shoes as well. Just put her on the boots. Just hold that for a minute. I think I may have her crooked. I think I have her crooked on the boots. Okay, she went a little crooked. Just gonna straighten her out. Straighten her out. There, I got her all straightened. It's hard to see when it's trying to show you guys how to do it, but then I can't see because I'm trying to do it backwards. I'm trying to watch in the camera, and it's just I'm not getting it good. So there she is. I'm going to set her aside and let her glue set up. I'm just going to grab him, same thing. Just going to figure out where he'd have to sit to balance on the shoes. And when I figure out where's a good spot for where he would be, that you can see the feet good, I'm just going to put some glue on the bottom of him. I'm just going to put some glue on around the shoes as well. Just push him down, just hold him there. I think he wants to tip. There, got this little guy, all this little furry stuff from his beard. I'll wipe that off in a minute. He wants to kind of tip funny. There, he's standing and she's standing. Now I'm going to have to fix her hair because I can see her hair is not quite even. I can see this one. I'm just going to have to fix this. Oops, he's tipping again. Okay. Well, I was done. I'll be back. I'm just going to get them fixed where I can turn them so I can see what I'm doing, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got the two Christmas gnomes. I got them fixed. I got her hair straightened out, and I got him to stand. I was tipping a little. The glue is still wet, so I just got to hold him. I may have to put something behind here. He's a little crooked, or I may have to just take the shoes off. I may have to just take the boots off and re-glue it if I can't get him to stand up. Or maybe move his hat forward. I don't know. I'm going to have to do something to get him to tip more to the front, because right now he wants to tip to the back. There, now he's standing. Okay, I'll stop touching him now because now he's standing. So there we got the two Christmas gnomes made out of one sock. I got two gnomes and a piece of the red felt and one piece of the green felt. Those little shoe party favors. They were the baby shower party favors. Now my collection of gnomes is growing because I've got these two, and then I've got, like I said yesterday, I made this little guy here. And I made his hat a little bit different. I gave him a hat where it curves. And I said for the mustache part, I just took a feather boa and I strung it through the bead. And I attached the blue boots that I had made. And then I made another little gnome. I made the small little one. And it's just, for this one here, just going to move these ones out of the way. For this one here, it was just the small little cone, just a smaller cone. And all I did for this one is I used a baby size sock. So it's the same thing. You just open up the sock, you just slip the cone in, and it just covers, like the baby sock just covers the cone. Now this one, this one's a little bit bigger cone, so the full baby sock covered most of it. I say like a good 2/3 of it. I wasn't quite worried about covering the top because you put his hat on and it covers that. So don't ever think that you have to cover the whole cone, like even the bottom. Like I said with her, the sock didn't fit all the way going around because it was the open sock. So we just finished it off by just putting the felt on the bottom. And I'm going to make a whole bunch of more gnomes. I had gone with those other ones, and I had gone and I made, where are they? Oh, right here. I made some other little shoes for the gnomes. The measurements for these ones that I made, they're taller. So what I did was I took a piece of the felt that I have. It's, I'm just going to reach over here. Just a square piece of felt that I got at the dollar store. I got this pack of, I don't know, it was quite a good pack of, I forget how many pieces, but lots of colors for about $3 or $4, but they're 6 by 6 squares. So you needed the 6-inch is what you need to go around it. But then these ones I was making, I was doing it where they were 2 inches. Well, this one here, all I did was cut it in half. And that gave me a much taller boot. So I said I can't really show because the other ones are on, but see if you can see if I put like where she would be, you can actually see the size difference of how much more the boot. I could put this on a different gnome and they would be like a lot taller. So I made these ones. So then I'm going to make my little Santa Claus pair. So this will be the Santa Claus, and I'm going to make him a coat with this, finishing around his coat will have the same this little trim. I'm going to make him a coat with that same trim. And then for Mrs. Claus, I did the faux fur around both the boots. So I will be working on those, and when I start making those ones, I will video record those with me making the jacket, because it's a larger process. It's actually making the gnomes and then making the clothing that goes, making their jackets that go over top, instead of just doing, you know, these ones are pretty simple. It's just a sock or material, and you're just doing partial way, and you're doing like a partial way up with the one and the hat on top. The ones I want to make where you cover the whole thing in one, and then you make the coat separate and you make the hat separate. So you get like it's a larger process. So I'm going to do those ones. So I'll be in the next week or so. My next video, of course, will be up on this weekend. I'm going to be doing all the fudge. I've got about 10 or 12 different fudge recipes I want to show you how to make. Again, I said that the fudge recipes are going to be taking your basic fudge recipe and how you can actually make it into 2 or 4 different types of fudge. So that's going to be really fun to figure out when I do that one. Okay, well, I just want to say, I guess I'm done making gnomes for tonight, because this is going to be like one of my longest videos. Okay, thank you.